I just that stuff's been following me like crazy lately. Anyway, so I went and got my taxes done, and the lady was doing them or whatever, and anyway, I don't know if you can read this here, but this is how much it cost. Federal and state. Federal was $38. State was $50. So it literally cost $88 to get my taxes done at Jackson Hewitt. What's even crazier is that since I don't have Obamacare or any health insurance, it cost me $118. So 11.8. I mean, for my no health insurance, and then it was $88 to get my taxes done. I mean, what are the odds of that? So then, I don't know, last night, I woke up this morning, and I don't know why I was dreaming about Forrest Gump, but in my dream, I literally kept seeing the number 44, and then I seen like a chart that had, it was like went downward, and it's like 444, and I thought, man, that's crazy, you know. And Tom Hanks was 44 when they filmed, or when the movie Castaway came out, and Castaway that he was on, he crashed the plane in Malaysia and got lost on the island, and it was the FedEx 88 plane and whatnot. So I figured, I haven't watched Forrest Gump in a long time. It used to be probably my favorite movie, so I kind of watched it. I didn't really watch it that in depth. I didn't have the opportunity with kids screaming, but I did see a few things that I thought were pretty interesting. All right, so I went to the movie Forrest Gump, and it came out in 1994. So, and it was on July 6, 1994. That means that Tom Hanks, it was 3 days before his 38th birthday. So Tom Hanks was 37 when this movie came out. And it says the film holds an extremely high rate of 8.8 on the Internet Movie Database, which makes it the 13th best movie of all time. And blah, blah, blah here. But 8.8 on the IMDb, I mean, that's pretty weird. 8.8, 88. And it also says that this movie was based on the book Forrest Gump. And it says, basically, well, it says right here that in the book, Forrest was born in 1944. And it's about his life in between 44 and 82. But yeah, so he was born in 1944 in the book. And the book was written by this guy, and he was born on 3/23. So the mirror of 32 and 23, 23, 32. He was born in Washington, D.C., but raised in Mobile County, Alabama. And when he got older here in 1985, he moved back to Mobile, Alabama, where he began to work on the novel Forrest Gump. And it was published in 1986. So Mobile, Alabama. It's on the 88th degree west. So Forrest Gump was actually written on the 88th degree west. And the book is actually completely different than the movie. But, well, at least from reading through here, I never read the book. But anyway, the book is 228 pages long. And 228 is 114 plus 114. So, and that is 11.4 plus 11.4, which is 44 and 44. So there's a couple 44 things. It says Forrest got his name from one of his relatives or something, but it was this guy right here, and he died in 1877. He was also the first Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. And I just watched the movie Tammy with the fat girl or whatever, and there's a part where she crashes into Mark Twain National Forest, and then a little bit later her grandma talks about how she dated Dwayne Allman from the Allman Brothers. And then I thought of I think it's Freebird. I can't remember what song they named after him, or they did in dedication to him. But anyway, and I feel like they changed this for some weird reason on here ever since then, because I know for a fact it said the Nathan B. Forrest High School, and I can't find it anymore. And that's who they. And then their gym teacher was Lynyrd Skynyrd, and that's how they got their name. And he was born on January 11th, which is 111, and he died age 77. I thought that was pretty interesting. But now all I can find is, if you go to one of the founding members here, Alan Collins, he went to that high school. He went to that guy's high school, the KKK guy. And look when he died, age 37. And he survived the plane crash that killed Van Zant and whatnot and Skynyrd. But the plane crashed October 20th, 1977. Well, anyway, there's a ton of numbers, especially 59, around Skynyrd and Forrest Gump and like the actors and whatnot. I'm not even going to get into that part of it. I just wanted to kind of show a few other things because I want to make a short one here. But it's going to be long anyway. But anyway, in the book, Forrest Gump plays high school football, and Miss Henderson, Forrest is infatuated with, gives him reading lessons. He reads Mark Twain's The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and 2 other books that he doesn't remember. So, I mean, they throw in a Mark Twain thing there. And the reason Mark Twain's so significant with the 4s and the 44 is because his book, The Mysterious Stranger, and Satan's name was actually 44. Or, yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. That's pretty crazy. I had a dream about Forrest Gump and 44s. And then here it says his favorite, the only book he remembers is a Mark Twain book. Then it says here he gained popularity as a football player, and he meets Bear Bryant, who I just showed the other night. And Bear Bryant is the football coach, and he died here. He was born on September 11th. Also, BB 88. I mean, the book is totally different here. Forrest meets Jenny in college, and they go see Bonnie and Clyde and play folk music together in a band, and they cover songs by Joan Baez, Bob Dylan, Peter, Paul, and Mary. Well, this lady is just turned 74, so she was 73 last year. Bob Dylan is 73 this year. Or he'll be 74 sometime this year, too. So let's check out a few of these parts in the movies here. The football part where he goes to Alabama to play football. Check this out. Can you believe it? He's number 44. I don't know. That blows my mind. Why I had a dream about that blows my mind. I haven't seen this movie in years. Anyway, the guy who hands him the ball here is number 11 and then tells him to run or whatever. So you got 44 and 11. And then right here is she's like wants to be a singer, she says, and tells him that. They're not really in a band together in the movie. And she goes to an all-girls school too, and he doesn't. So anyway, she sneaks him into her dorm room. And her dorm room, you can't see it here, but if you watch the movie for yourself, her room is 223 or 322 backwards. This singer here, she also dated Steve Jobs, the Apple company guy. And it says that they would have got married, but she was so much older than him, they didn't think they'd be able to have kids. And even on his deathbed or whatever, or right before he died, he was still friends with her and came and saw her before he died. Yeah, it says that he was in his 20s and he was thinking about asking her to marry him, but she was in her early 40s and it was unlikely she could have children or whatever. But the reason that's so significant is because, like I said, I'm not going to get too in detailed in it, but Steve Jobs was born in 1955 on the 55th day of the year, and that would make him 59 years old. 59 years old until February 24th of this year. And I've talked about 59 and 55 multiple times. And also in the book it says Forrest flunks out of Alabama and he joins the army with his good friend Bubba, who in the movie he just met Bubba when he joined the army. But on the movie, Bubba's name is Benjamin Buford Blue, BBB 888. It says he also plays in a ping pong championship in China. And ping pong was not an Olympic sport until 1988. It also says table tennis is governed by the worldwide organization International Table Tennis Federation, founded in 1926. So, to 2014, depending on when it was founded, that is 88 years ago. It also says he goes on a mission for NASA with a female astronaut and an ape named Sue. So NASA, I just watched a video on this the other day about how this is actually a T here. So it says NASTA, and it's an anagram for Satan, and that's why they say T minus 20 seconds when they do liftoff and whatever. And in the movie, this guy plays Lieutenant Dan, and they actually make more than one reference about something about space with this guy. It's almost like they foreshadowed him to be in the movie Apollo 13. But anyway, look, he's 59, born in 55, and his birthday is March 17th. Now, what's interesting is the guy that he plays in Apollo 13, real-life guy Ken Mattingly, is also born on March 17th. And I believe 1936 is a leap year, so that would make him born on the 73rd day of the year. It also said that Forrest Gump goes to the moon or space or whatever with an ape named Sue, and at the end of Forrest Gump, Lieutenant Dan gets his magic legs, and he introduces his new fiance, and her name is Sue. I just thought that was funny. I mean, there's a lot of the stuff is straightforward with like the Black Panther Party and all kinds of stuff, all the movements and whatever. But like there's Elvis he teaches Elvis how to dance kind of thing, and I just talked about Elvis. When he goes shrimp boating and he can't get any shrimp and he prays, and then finally a hurricane comes and then he's like the best person ever and he can get all the shrimp. That was because of Hurricane Carmen, and it actually in real life it killed 8 people. Like he meets JFK and LBJ and Richard Nixon, and Nixon lets him stay at the Watergate Hotel, which is actually on 77th degree west. And also he like exposes Watergate, and Nixon is the 37th president. And there's a part where he drinks like 15 Dr. Peppers. That's really, people remember that a lot. And Dr. Pepper says established in 1885. That is the year that Doc Brown goes back to the future or whatever. He goes to 1885 in the third movie, so it makes me wonder. And this guy also wrote the book in 1985, and then it came out in 86. So who knows? Okay, so anyway, in the very beginning of the movie, a feather comes flying into him, and he picks it up and puts it inside this Curious George book. Now, I mean, I don't know if that's a reference to the Pope, because I mean I'm not going to go in depth with it, but the Pope is Curious Jorge Bergoglio or whatever. So, and on that book it says H.A. Ray. He's the author of Curious George, and he died in 1977. Anyway, Jenny dies at the end, and he's talking to her at her grave, and look at it when she died. March 22nd, 1982. So 322, her dorm room was 223, and 1982 was 32 years ago. Anyway, at the very end of this movie, I'm just going to play the clip. Hopefully they don't get me for copyright. I turned the volume off. If so, I'll just redo the video and fix it. But anyway, and I put the captions on so you can hear or read what he says. But it's talking about, basically he talks about as above, so below. And it's just kind of crazy. But hopefully this video makes sense. I didn't really go that in depth in a lot of things. So I just wanted to make a quick video because I had that dream. So I'm going to finish it off on this clip here.